Welcome back. Today we look into the Roswell event, which is one of the most enduring secrets in modern history. Join us as we look at what happened when a high-altitude balloon crashed and was found in 1947. This set off a wave of conspiracy theories about aliens and strange flying objects. From the first accounts of a flying disc to the later explanation that it was a weather balloon, the Roswell event continues to fascinate believers and doubters alike. So buckle up and get ready to go on an exploration into the mysterious world of Roswell, New Mexico. This is what nobody knows about Roswell: UFO crash or secret plan? So, let's start our video. The events that took place around the crash and retrieval of a high-altitude balloon used by the United States Army Air Forces in 1947 in Roswell, New Mexico, were the focal point of a conspiracy theory that involved extraterrestrial beings and unidentified flying objects, UFOs. The United States military contributed to the suspense by declaring at first that the retrieved wreckage was from a flying disc, and then later declaring that the wreckage was really from a weather balloon. This led to the speculation that the flying disc was actually a weather balloon. In 1994, it was ultimately disclosed that the balloon had been a part of the highly classified project known as Mogul, which aimed to detect nuclear bomb testing carried out by the Soviet Union. Despite this, the discovery did not significantly put a stop to the conspiracy ideas. In 1947, the United States and other nations were in the middle of a flying saucer craze, as individuals reported seeing unusual objects in the sky that they believed were spaceships operated by aliens. These people said that they saw UFOs in 1947. In this context, a rancher named W.W. Mac Brazel made a surprising discovery in the month of June close to Roswell, New Mexico. He came across some peculiar debris. Aluminum foil, rubber strips, and sticks were incorporated into the material. The next month, he sent the things to the sheriff of Roswell, who then phoned the Roswell Army Airfield RAAF to report the missing equipment. The Royal Australian Air Force RAAF released an unprecedented news statement after they had finished gathering the wreckage and reported that a flying disc had been discovered from a rural property. The press statement was picked up almost immediately by the Roswell Daily Record, which published the news on July 8th under the headline, "RAAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region." However, almost immediately, the military made the announcement that the saucer had in fact been a weather balloon carrying a radar target. The radar target was a contraption that was something similar to a box kite and was made of foiled paper that was attached to a balsa wood frame. The latest allegation was brought to the attention of the public by the Roswell Morning Dispatch in an article published on July 9, 1947, and captioned, "Army debunks Roswell flying disc as world simmers with excitement." Having said that, the story also featured an interview with Brazel, who expressed his disbelief that the debris he found belonged to a weather balloon. It is possible that the fragments of the debris that presented Brazel with the greatest challenge originated from a radar target. After then, the Roswell incident was no longer discussed in the media, but people's fascination with UFOs and extraterrestrial life persisted. After then, in 1980, the Roswell incident was released to the public. Charles Berlitz and William L. Moore, the writers of the book, referred to the explanation about the weather balloon as a cover story. They maintained that the original wreckage, which they thought to be from a crashed flying saucer, had been taken to Wright Field, later Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, near Dayton, Ohio, and material from a weather balloon had been hastily substituted. They felt that Wright Field was the location of a crashed flying saucer. Despite the fact that the book was met with widespread opposition, it was nonetheless successful in inspiring a number of new conspiracy theories and pranks. Notably, in 1984, a set of documents that were said to be classified memos on Majestic 12, MJ-12, leaked. Majestic 12 was a covert program that had been initiated by President Harry S. Truman to deal with the Roswell incident. On the other hand, it was eventually established that the documents were forgeries, and there was no evidence uncovered to corroborate the existence of MJ-12. After this, in 1995, a supposed alien autopsy tape was released, which claimed to depict the dissection of an extraterrestrial corpse that had been involved in the Roswell incident. The director of the 17-minute film asserted at the end that it was all an elaborate hoax. These frauds did not, however, put a stop to the conspiracy ideas. Rather, they inspired more interest in the occurrence, and Roswell became synonymous with UFOs and aliens. In point of fact, the event ended up being a big contributor to the city's economy. In 1992, Roswell became home to the International UFO Museum and Research Center, and the city has hosted an annual UFO festival ever since 1996. Roswell is located in New Mexico. In a single respect, however, Berlitz and Moore were correct. The government's assertion that a weather balloon had been destroyed in the Roswell crash was untrue. The United States Air Force finally came clean in 1994 and revealed that the material that had been found had originated from an American surveillance balloon. As a component of Project Mogul, this mission's objective was to observe Soviet Union nuclear test preparations in advance. A conclusive analysis commissioned by the United States Air Force and published in 1997 under the title The Roswell Report, Case Closed, offered the hypothesis that reports of extraterrestrial remains could have originated from civilian witnesses who, during the 1950s, observed burned bodies from an airplane crash, parachute crash test dummies, and a critically injured airman parachutist. The investigation suggested that the witnesses' recollections had been consolidated to include all of the distinct events that had occurred, including the Project Mogul materials, the crash test dummies, the airman, and the burnt remains. However, in the eyes of many so-called ufologists, these explanations were nothing more than an ongoing cover-up on the part of the United States government. In the end, Roswell in 1947 fascinates people worldwide. A high-altitude balloon crash and recovery sparked a decades-long conspiracy belief about aliens and UFOs. The government maintained the debris was from a covert effort dubbed Mogul to capture the Soviets testing nuclear weapons, but conspiracy theorists persisted. Books, phony documents, and even an extraterrestrial autopsy recording confirmed Roswell's UFO narrative. UFOs are Roswell's pride. It hosts the International UFO Museum and Research Center and a UFO Expo. The Roswell question persists, despite the official solution. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to us for more amazing videos.